Have a seat. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm thinking about Stan Musial, I'm thinking about Bill Bradley, and when you get an award with Stan Musial's name on it, what does that mean to you?
Well, this is a very meaningful night for me because Stan Musial was one of my childhood heroes, and getting an award, it's named for him. He's my childhood hero. Of course, he was the clutch hitter, but he also was a man with character. And also, the award brings me back home.
Right.
Brings me back to Crystal City, where I was yesterday at the river, and back to St. Louis. So the award is deeply personal for me in many ways.
And I'm wondering, you were the essence of civility, even in your life in politics, both on the court in basketball and also in politics. And I'm wondering, when you see these stories tonight and you see this humanity out there, what goes through your mind?
What goes through my mind is it shows there's goodness in people, even in a horse, right? And that's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on that which is good in people and the humility that Stan Musial embodied, the generosity he embodied. And if we do that, we're going to be okay.
Take us back to Crystal City, because there are so many stories of people getting up in the morning and hearing the ball dribbling in the gym. You beat everybody into the gym, and then you'd stay late and do it again. Where'd you get that work ethic?
Well, I guess it started with my family, my mother, my father. But there was a key moment when I was 14 years old. I went to Easy Ed McCauley's basketball camp.
Oh, wow.
The great St. Louis University and Hawk star. And he told the assembled campers one day when we were listening to what his lecture was, he said, remember, if you're not practicing, somebody somewhere is practicing. And given roughly equal ability, he's going to win. Well, that was the origin of my workaholism. I never wanted to lose because I didn't put into practice. So I would do 3 hours a day, 5 hours Saturday and Sunday, from the time I was 13 years old.
Yeah. Well, it worked out okay, didn't it? Tell me, you made the choice to go to Princeton when you could have gone to a lot of better-known basketball schools. Why?
Well, I actually signed an athletic scholarship to go to Duke. I had 75 scholarship offers, and I was set to go. And then my father, who never graduated from college, decided I ought to take a tour of Europe. Europe? What do you mean, Europe? And it was a tour, a college tour with 13 women and me. And they couldn't figure out, when I told them where I was going to college, why would I go to Duke if I could go to Princeton or Yale or whatever. And then I came back, and as these things happened, I broke my ankle, my foot rather. I considered the world without sports, and I thought, where would I like to go to college if I wasn't going to play basketball? And the answer was Princeton. At that point, I wanted to be in the State Department and be a diplomat. And so that was the decision that I made. And I came home from a date on a Friday night in Crystal City and woke my parents up and told them I changed my mind. I want to go to Princeton. My father called an alumnus here in St. Louis on Saturday. On Sunday, I was on a plane from Lambert to Newark. And I slept that first night at Princeton, arriving around 10 p.m. on a bed with no sheets, the first of many nights. I would sleep on bed with no sheets at Princeton. And that's how it happened.
And then you made another decision, and that decision was not to go straight to the NBA, that you were going to go study even more.
Yeah, well, the decision to go to Princeton was in part related to that, because when I was thinking about where to go, I saw that Princeton had the highest number of Rhodes Scholars. On this trip I'd taken with these 13 girls, we went to Oxford one day, and I was taken with Oxford. And I said, I got to find a way to get back here. When I broke my foot, I was reading books, and I read a book about something called the Rhodes Scholarship. and saw that Princeton had more Rhodes Scholars than any other university at that time. And so when I finished college, there wasn't even a second thought. I was going to go to Oxford if I got the scholarship, which I did.
And then those great days with the New York Knicks, you heard Walt Frazier talk about your unselfishness on the court. That was kind of your mantra, is whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, I think that it was an extraordinary group of people, embodied selflessness, imagination, discipline, responsibility, all the values that go into making up sportsmanship. And it was a great pleasure, honor, the joy of my life to play on that team in those years and win the championship. The championship is what it's all about. You know, it's not about how many points you score, it's about whether your team wins. And you only win by embodying the values that Stan Musial embodied. And you know, when I think of sportsmanship, I think of him, and that's why I'm so grateful for this award. I think, you know, and we saw it tonight in a lot of the recipients. If you lose, you congratulate the winner, whether that's in sports or politics or life. If your opponent is fallen, you pick them up and move forward. And you act out of honor, not grievance. And you know that with hard work and humility, you can achieve excellence. And to me, that's the essence of our teams with the Knicks and the essence of this award.
And Senator Danforth talked about civility among politicians, even if you're on the other side of the aisle, something we don't see a lot of today.
The first senator to come to my office and welcome me as a newly elected senator was Jack Danforth. He was a Republican, it didn't matter. He's a human being, he was a friend. And I know when Cory Booker, the person who occupies my seat in the Senate from New Jersey now, was elected the first time, he said, "What should I do? You have any recommendation?" I said, "Yeah, make 5 Republican friends. I mean, not acquaintances, or make friends of 5 Republicans. And at some point, it'll prove to work pretty well for you." And indeed, there was a big appropriations bill, and the subject was a 3rd tunnel under the Hudson River from New Jersey to New York. And the deciding vote was Roger Wicker, one of the people he befriended, who was a Republican from Mississippi.
So good advice.
So people who say that this is all gone is not true.
I understand you have an autobiography coming out, and Stan might be a part of that?
That's right. I have a performative autobiography called Rolling Along, An American Story, that debuts on HBO on 1st of February. And I'll give you the Stan reference. It's related to my father. My father had calcified arthritis of the lower spine. I never saw him drive a car, tie his shoes, put his coat on. My mother and I did those things for him every day. And his disability had a big impact on my life. I mean, you know, there was no fishing trips or hunting or hiking or playing catch with Dad or even shooting baskets with Dad. But the time I remember most fondly with him was when my mother would drive us up Grand Avenue to Sportsman's Park. And my father would get box seats for a St. Louis Cardinals day game, and we'd sit in that blistering July heat, drink bottle after bottle of Mountain Valley water, now catch this, and root for my heroes, Stan the Man, Musial, and sweat together.
Well, you've seen the stories tonight. We've taken a look at your life of civility. I wonder what you hope the message is going forward after we leave here tonight.
That we trust our best selves, and our best selves will take us a long way. And never to doubt who we are as human beings, first of all, as Americans, second. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of division in the country. And so maybe we can also learn something from what made the Knick team successful so many years ago. Take responsibility for yourself. Respect your fellow human being. Respect your fellow human being. Disagree with them openly and honestly. Enjoy their humanity, and never look down on people you don't understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Bradley.